Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. This is Dalek 451, the new Dalek Emperor. How you all doing out there today? Out there? Well, I can certainly say I'm not doing too great at the moment because I've just heard the sad news, and I thought I just felt I have to do something like this for you know for just for the loss of well, I think I can say a good friend, because well, definitely a good friend to a lot of you out there who and I'm pretty sure I'm sure I was a friend of his too. I've because I used to speak to him quite, used to stream, be on streams with him quite. Sure, he's been on this channel a few times. I've streamed with him before. I'm sure I've spoken to him. He was a great. But yeah, the lot. I'm just here to do my own little tribute to say good to our good friend Pop Culture Curator, who I found out we just lost just earlier on tonight. Yeah, I just had to do something, and I know there's already a big tribute live stream to him going on right now, and but I I didn't really feel like going over there because it was a big, it was just everyone was gathering there. It was a just a big crowd. I felt like I'd just become lost in it. So I just came to just come here and just do something of my own. So, and I'm not, if I sound selfish or something like that, I'm sorry, but it's just wait, what's this? Wait a minute, what's the setting for this? What was the setting for this stream? Well, anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say rest in peace, Pop Culture Curator. You will be very sorely missed by us all, and I was really sad when I heard the news. I saw a pop up about, I think it was Daniel's Hot Topics. I saw him say something on Discord about it. Yeah, and that's how I found out. Now I hadn't spoken to Pop Culture Curator myself in quite a long time, and but glad to. But he's definitely a guy I can say I was glad to know, and even though I hadn't spoken to him for so long, yeah, it was a real blow to hear about it, and this is after already a considerable number of losses we've already suffered just the last 2 years alone. I probably don't even need to name names. You all know you'll know who I'm talking about. And hello to Leopold 9, which I'm guessing that's you, guessing that's you, Fez. Cheers. Thank you for coming in. R.I.P. Pop Culture Curator. Very sorry to hear the news, darling. Yeah, I know. Yeah, glad you could pop in, John. How are you? Fez indeed. You know what? You know what? I think may as well. I'm gonna since it's supposed to be a tribute, I'm gonna open up the panel here. So just give me a moment here. I'm gonna just go over here. It's been a rough day. Had to get Mama Fez to hospital. Blood clots and months. Oh my god. Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that, John. I hope she's okay. Anyway. All right, okay, folks. There's the link at the top of the chat. If you want to come in and say a few words, please feel free to do so. Thanks, man. They got her on blood thinners to break the clots up. She's in good spirits. So, oh, that's good. At least she's in high spirits. That's good to hear. Let's show. Well, all right, everybody. Hello, Fez. How you doing?
All right. How you been, man?
I've been mostly okay lately. I've been.
Wait a minute. There, I killed the echo.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
It's been a rough couple of days all around. I hear you guys had some excitement yesterday in your area, and
yeah,
bad thing that happened.
I know what you're talking about, which happened very close to where I live.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Man, if you're talking about what I think you are, that was very close to here.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a rough one, man, and this is why I hate the month of August, because all kinds of bad things happen, especially in my family. But I keep seeing all kinds of bad things happen in August, November too. But gotta just take it in stride and move on as best we can, as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I never thought people would ever depend on me for anything, and coming to find a lot of friends, you and the guys in the pod and many others, the guys in my lodges, it makes you kind of feel like you matter, when you find these kinds of friends. So it matters a lot to me, when I have a problem, people are supportive of me. So that makes a real difference,
Right. Of course.
And I appreciate it very much, man.
You're welcome.
So, what good things have happened lately?
Well, good things. All last week. Um, well, not last week. I think no, the week. Was it last week?
Mhm.
No. I think it was. Yeah, it was last week or the week before. My parents went away for a holiday by themselves, and it was just left me and my brother here at home for the week.
Ah,
Just
is there anything left of the house?
yes. Well, the way and surprise. Well, I suppose I should be surprised there still is the way me and my brother do not get along, or at
Oh,
least,
that's too bad.
or at least I get along a lot worse with him than he does with me because I have to admit he does try to
Mm,
reach out to me, but the way he does it, in my opinion, is a bit too it's a bit too intrusive
yeah,
because he's always like asking me always ask was like what he's asking me what am I doing all the time, and I was like it's like I'm
yeah,
just trying to keep trying to say it's none of your business.
yeah, yeah. Keep the door open, but yeah, you know, one of these days, one of yous will need the other one or both. But yeah, it's been a weird couple of weeks here. That thing with the locomotive that I told you about,
Oh,
that I'm going
oh,
to be a part owner of, that seems to have fallen apart and come back together actually better than
oh,
it had
really?
been. Yeah. So the proposal is into the guy who owns it, and the group that's going to get it, I'm joining along with the other fella I was working with, because it takes a long time to get a what they call a 501c3 corporation put together. It's a tax-free nonprofit,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes about 8 months to do that. So we figured we'd go with the guys who are interested that we know. They have their own thing already and a proven track record on restoration. And their thing is underground mining. They have several mine locomotives. These are kind of flat slab electric locomotives.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got one of them running. One is going to be running probably in the next year. And they've got another one behind that. And then several mine cars and some track and all this stuff, and a great place to put it at an old airport. So that works out pretty nicely. And we figured
Oh,
it was just
great.
easier to get on with them rather than go through all the hassle of starting our own thing and, making poor Carl wait until, probably January to get the thing off his property.
Hmm.
So, you know, steps forward.
Well, that's good.
And, you know, then the whole thing with mom hit today. And,
Right.
she fell off the chair this morning and she didn't call out to me. I'm on the other side of the house in my bedroom, and she finally calls me on the phone. And I fumbled the phone as I always do in the mornings because, I'm an idiot. And I finally got up and, why is she calling me? And went out. The car's there. Where the hell is she? And I walked over towards her bedroom, and there she is on the floor. Help me get up. It's like that old commercial, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh,
So,
damn.
yeah, so she had passed out and ended up falling off her computer chair.
Oh,
And I took her to the doctor, and that was a convenient care thing, the clinic. And they did CAT scan and x ray and this and that, and found out she has some blood clots in the lungs. So they called the ambulance, took her to the hospital, and they've got her on the blood thinners. But it took like 4 hours to get a doctor to see her because there'd been at least two major car accidents and somebody else even sicker. So there's that. And she had an infarction, which is the blood supply gets choked off to a part of the lung and kills it. So
oh,
not
God.
very big, not very big, they tell me. But because she's on the chemo for the cancer, that compromises things a little bit. But from what they said, she should be home in a couple of days. You know,
Mhm.
prayers welcome, and thank you very much to anybody, you know, who sent some good thoughts or prayers for her. But yeah, it was a rough day, and sitting here in the house with just the cat, you get that feeling there's a soul missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's a little weird, you know. But yeah, hopefully she'll be back in a couple of days. So keep a
hopefully.
good thought, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, well, well. On another on another slightly happier note,
yes.
you remember PodCon?
Hmm.
Yeah, that hat. Remember that hat?
Oh yeah.
That
Did it
Raymond
get
got.
there?
It arrived today, thankfully.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. And I picked that out for you.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
thanks.
we're looking for a shirt or a hat or something, and I said, "What about that?" That's like, yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oh, no problem. Well, my head's falling off. Oh, there we go.
I know that feeling. The heck
Yeah.
got this freaking gamer headset that I use.
Yeah.
It's always sliding off my head. I cannot make it stay on at all.
Yeah. Well, they got me this one, and it has the little flip out microphone here on the one ear, but because my computer's on my right and the flip out microphone and the wire are on the right, I can't wear it the other way around where the mic comes down in front. So I usually end up talking to the back of my head, which is weird.
The microphone's flipped to it's on the back of your head. Oh,
yeah. So I'm using this mic.
Fair enough. I was given what kind of stream this is, and in a bit of a hurry to get it going. Yeah. I've forgotten my headset, and I'm just using the old standing microphone I used to use. I've just got my little earphones on, so I don't so none of yeah, just the old setup.
Yeah. Well, whatever works, But yeah, what was the other thing happened this week? Oh, shoot, now I can't remember. It's the early onset Alzheimer's, I think. There was something good happened. Must have been something. Oh no, it's only Tuesday. We had the weekend. We had the mine group. We had mother go to the hospital. Well, the cat's still alive. That's good.
Hello to just good to say.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just
that's all right.
Good to say hello to Hakeem. Good to see you. Hey, dog.
Hello there.
News about Pop. Yeah, it is. It's terrible news.
Yeah. What happened? Heart attack or something, or
I thought Daleks had built-in audio. Actually, I don't really know what happened. I found out when I just saw a pop-up from someone on Discord, just in a server I'm in, suddenly say about it, and that's how I found out. It was, I think it was Daniel's Hot Topics who said.
Oh, okay.
Hakeem, he says he had cancer.
Yeah. That's the worst,
There seems to be a lot of that going around lately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot more people, and you have the internet, so people know faster, but cancer has always been a very rough deal, and it's, they're getting closer to curing it in a lot of areas. Mother is She was supposed to finish her last chemo this Thursday, but I think that's off because, the other thing. But, she had some side effects with it, but not as bad as my sister had. And, she should survive that. So, they didn't have the same medicine even 5 years ago when my sister was going through the cancer. So it's weird. But yeah, there's a lot of people getting it these days, and there's more people than there ever have been. So I guess it's proportional or something.
Yeah, just before my parents went away, I heard from mom that one of mom and dad's old friends, apparently he now had some kind of cancer, and they actually, and she and dad actually went to visit them over the last weekend, and when they got home, mom was saying about him looking like looking like he was struggling to eat and things like that.
Yeah, the chemo will definitely do that. And one of the things with mom and a lot of people is the chemo will kill your sense of smell and taste. So it makes it very hard to eat anything because it's like mush in your mouth. But yeah. And that's the weird thing is my sister and my mother are the ones who get the cancer. I'm the one that smokes. Go figure.
Good Lord.
And even my brother-in-law who died last year, he had lung cancer. He quit smoking 30 years ago. So damn. I mean, it's been a rough 5 years, 8 years.
I've never touched. I'm very glad to say I've never touched a cigarette in my life, and never will.
And don't. Yeah, it's you're better off because even if I don't have that, I've got the mild emphysema, and I can't walk very far. I can't run. I can't do a lot of heavy lifting or bending or stooping. Part of that is the arthritis everywhere. But yeah, you're better off. Take good care of yourself while you're young, and you will be much happier when you're older. But if I had known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself. What are you going to do? 20/20 hindsight. But there's that. And shit, what was that? I can't remember. Oh, it'll hit me about 4 o'clock in the morning. It usually does. It's one of those things you just start falling asleep and suddenly you remember, oh yeah, that.
It's funny.
I hate that.
Funny you should mention. You said 4 in the morning because you know what time it is here.
It would be.
It's 3:31 a.m.
Yep. Holy cow, dude. Wild. Crazy stuff.
So in half an hour, it will be 4 a.m.
Yeah. Well, then it might hit me then. Although with a slightly British accent, because I'm silly that way. Well, I think I told you about my grandfather's friend, Cliff. He's a genuine Scotsman from Aberdeen. And he came over to America, got naturalized, and him and my grandfather were best friends for many years. And I would, I'd see him here or there. And after about 2 minutes of talking to him, I suddenly had a Scottish brogue. And it's like
wow.
The inner voice going, shut up, you dummy, you're embarrassing him. It's just that kind of thing, but it's so much fun.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Or after, 10 minutes of Benny Hill or Monty Python, Same thing. And I had a good
Right.
time with
Yeah.
Benny Hill. That was one of the few shows Dad and I watched together. But well, that and Monty Python. But yeah, it's kind of strange the way the accents go, and then you come over here to the States, and people are surprised at how many different ones there are here. And you've got
Yeah.
your Boston accent, where you pack the car in the yard, and you've got the regular Pennsylvania accent. That's what I got, and then your Southern drawl, honey.
Yeah. I know what.
And
Yeah, that surprises me. I mean, never mind. That's just the States, and that's so much bigger than the UK. But the UK is like feels like over 1,000 different accents depending on where you go.
Because you've got the Welsh and the Cornish. I think Devonshire itself has its own thing. The Midlands has its own thing.
There's that Birmingham, the Brummie accent from Birmingham.
Yeah.
The Scouse accent from Liverpool, the
Geordie,
the Geordie accent from Newcastle,
backwards. And then of course there's the Yorkshire accent, which I guess about covers everything. And the one that they call received pronunciation, I think that's the posh high class accent.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
And it's weird today because here in the States, we see a lot of movies that start a lot of British actors. And, the word bloody and blimey and, core blimey.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of that in the movies, but you don't know if people actually say that for real in England or where,
I think to an extent people do say those words. Maybe maybe not so much core blimey, but bloody definitely.
Yeah.
I mean I say it a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because core blimey I got from Danger Mouse. Penfold was always saying that.
Danger Mouse, yeah.
Cool blimey, DM. I love that. Baron Cyrus Greenback.
It was the great Sir David Jason as Danger Mouse.
Yep. And I never knew that until last year. And I know you and I had talked about it on King Dolphin a couple of times. And I thought, wow, this guy is everywhere.
I know he is. I was surprised. I mean, some of the things he'd been in. Everyone knows he's Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses. Everyone knows him there. But I was surprised some of the things he'd been in. I mean, he was this other character called I think he was what's his name? Grenfell or something like that from this.
Oh yeah.
Begin with a G. It was a character. It was from a series called Open All Hours.
Yes.
And he was in that alongside Ronnie Barker.
Ronnie Barker, one of the two Ronnies.
Yeah.
I used to love that show too. And they were a lot of fun. God, you had some great comics.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And
not so much. Sadly, not so much these days. But we do have the.
Yeah.
I mean, there is the odd one. There is the odd comic I like here. Like, I mean, have you ever heard of a guy called Michael McIntyre?
It sounds familiar. I don't know. I can't place it at the moment. But I do remember Tommy something with a fez. He was a comic magician. Oh, he was the fellow that died on stage.
I'm sure I know his name. The guy, Tom. Was that Ken Dodd or was that someone else?
No, oh diddly. Let me look it up here. Let's see. British ISH comedian. Tommy Fizz. Come on, computer. Sometimes it depends on how you hold the phone. And we have no
Oh,
bars.
oh, wait a
No
minute.
bars at all.
It might be. Oh, wait a minute. A name just came to me. It might have been Tommy Cooper or something like that.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Very tall guy. Goofy as hell. Loved him. And
He had, did he have really? Did he have really buck teeth as well?
no, that was the other guy. They called him the King of the Doodah Men or Doodah Men. And he had an excellent singing voice. He could do opera. But I can't remember his name either. Jeez, I'm dying here. But I mean, such funny people, you know. And I get a kick out of the British comics, the Jewish comics, especially a guy named Myron Cohen. And some of his stuff is on YouTube. He always worked clean, no cursing or any of that. And he was just plain funny, you know, and anybody could enjoy him. He's somebody you could have on King Dolphin. But yeah, he was big in the 50s and 60s. I think he died in the 1970s, but boy, was he funny. But I get a kick out of all these, you know, comedians from Britain and the Jewish comedians and some of the American comedians. That is to say, not with the Yiddish accent and all that. Some of our comedians have been okay. Some of them went too much into the Andrew Dice Clay and that sort of thing where everything has to be a dirty joke. And I just, you know, that's pandering to the lowest common denominator, you know?
Yeah, comedy that's something I admit that's something I've gotten rather tired of in recent years. And where it's just like, you know, every joke is like someone getting hurt or saying a dirty or swearing or something, or you know, it's you know, it's just or someone just or gross out humor. I hate gross out humor.
Yeah, because I mean it's like, as I say, pandering to the lowest common denominator and just picking low hanging fruit instead of really crafting a good joke. You know, and the old comics, boy, could they do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just it's just these days. Oh, someone got a certain kind. Someone got a certain type of covered in a certain type of mess. Laugh.
Yeah, and you know, it's much harder to craft a good story when you have those certain limitations. You know, that's why the Hays Code worked in the States with movies for many years.
I think that's probably the reason why there was a show that I remember not that long, a while ago. There was this Netflix show called Inside Job, and Doomcock loved it. I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Oh wow!
I actually, it was just I just didn't see why it was funny it's just another version of, to me it was just another version of like Family Guy or Rick and Morty. It was just it was because everyone's always angry. Everyone hates each other. Everyone's always arguing. Everyone's always shouting, and everyone's always hurting each other or killing each other. And
Yeah.
This isn't funny. This isn't
Yeah.
funny. This is just headache-inducing crap.
Yep. And there's so much of it out there. That's why I pretty much stopped watching television. I mean, I can find a good video on a murder mystery or something like that, or a good old funny movie on YouTube. And why not? It's better to watch that stuff than the crap that's out there today.
It's just, yeah, it's just everything. It's just like everything just has to be one pure cynic, dark and moody and cynical all the time.
Or then you get people like Will Ferrell. I have never seen him do anything that is even remotely funny. And him and Adam Sandler had a moment or two, but I just can't get into them at all. It's just out there.
Yeah.
But you'll have these things.
I mean, I probably was into that kind of stuff for a little. I think that's why I don't watch stuff like The Simpsons or Family Guy anymore.
Yeah, Simpsons got too preachy, and the only one that I really still like is Futurama, because they really did put thoughts into the jokes and gags in that, and the story itself. The whole.
Futurama was a great show for a while.
And I love Zoidberg. Yeah, the first few seasons. Yeah, Zoidberg, the Lobster Man, from Futurama.
Yeah, I know. Great. Yeah, Zoidberg. What? Zoidberg.
Yeah.
Why
not invite Zoidberg? Why not?
Yeah, he talked. That's how he talked. Yeah.
Yeah. And really good writing.
Speaking of that, apparently they've started another season of that just recently.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I hope they don't screw it up. But the last couple of seasons were hit and miss.
Yeah, after the movies. After when they first brought it back and they did those movies, like Bender's Big Score and Wild Green Yonder and all that. It's just, and then they did the first proper. I watched like the first proper season they did after and I just throughout the whole every episode it was just like, okay. Yeah, something's off about this. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but something was off.
Yeah, and part of it was they didn't have all the same writers. And I think the imagination goes out when you break up the original band. I mean, you look at a band like Kiss with the original 4 guys. They were incredible. Eric Carr wasn't bad, but he was completely different than Peter Criss, so that changed the dynamic of the band. Vinnie Vincent, great guitar player and songwriter, but one of the most arrogant, self-destructive people. And his solos went on forever and ever and just didn't fit. And, you had a series of people go through, and by the time they ended this last December, it just wasn't the same anymore. The whole dynamic had changed. But, and a lot of that is a matter of taste, of course, because the younger people watching Kiss now, they have a whole different view on life than we did back in the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
But, I'm an intellectual now.
On that subject, I'm probably. If someone asked me, I've always been I've always really loved AC/DC. But if someone asked me do I prefer Bon Scott or Brian Johnson, I'd probably say Brian Johnson because because I think, although I mean, that's nothing against Bon Scott. He's great.
Yeah,
He was great.
yeah,
He was great.
yeah.
But
Bon Scott has a very specific way of speaking and singing, and Brian is very all encompassing. He
yeah,
can do soft, he can do loud and bombastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm you're right. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff he's done outside of AC/DC, and it's like this guy is really really cool. He's a really
Yeah,
awesome guy. You know?
yeah. Although that haircut with Geordie in the live clip that I saw, good Lord. Thank God he came up with the cap. Because it didn't, that size hair doesn't work with his face. I mean, he's got a very pronounced English tough working man face.
He does,
And
yeah.
it doesn't work with the
his
big old
accent
afro.
and his accent matches it.
Yes, it does.
He's got a fantastic accent, Brian.
Oh yeah. And the thing that's great about him is, he can be out there and look all that tough and be all that big guy on stage, and he turns out to be a really nice person.
Yeah, I could just you could just see him off stage and other things. He's like, he's like the nicest guy you could meet.
Him and Peter Frampton, and I absolutely love Peter Frampton. Yeah, he's one of my favorite guitarists in the world, and singers, and songwriters, and performers. But yeah,
I mean, which I gotta say, I was left really disappointed when I'm back in. This was a long time ago. It must be like 2016, where I actually got the chance to actually go and see AC/DC in the during their, I think it was called their Rock or Bust tour.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for me, before the tour had reached the UK, and Brian had been told to stop singing.
Yeah, the ear thing.
Because he was going deaf.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw the story. It's on YouTube of how the fella came to him with that new inner ear monitor thing, but it also is a substitute eardrum, and it really worked for him a lot. That's why he's been able to get back with them. But the stories on YouTube.
So that's how he was able to get back and do that new album they did, the Power Up album.
Yeah, and it's a fascinating story. But this guy came to him and said, "Don't give up. I've got this thing. Let's try it." And I said, "Well, why not?" And he came over and tried it with him, and it worked beautifully. And then they worked together on miniaturizing the unit. And even Paul Stanley, I think, had one put in, because he's always been deaf in the right ear. But pretty neat technology.
That's great.
Yeah, check it out. I can't remember the channel, but if you look for Brian Johnson hearing aid in the search bar, it should come up.
Okay.
But and that's the other thing I didn't realize. Brian Johnson actually wrote an opera, which is kind of fascinating. Yeah, on top of everything else he's done. I mean, here's a guy who is living his life,
And then wow, and then there's all the he's and also what I've seen of him, he's also a proper car nut.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He absolutely loves his cars.
Oh yeah. And he has a lot of fun with them. It's kind of like Jay Leno here in the States, although Jay kind of broods over his collection. Brian enjoys his collection.
He actually presented a few years ago. He actually presented a TV show, his
Hmm.
own documentary show. I think it was
Yeah.
called. It was get this. It was called Brian Johnson's Cars That Rock.
Yep.
It's called,
That's awesome. But there you go. That's a guy who figured out how to live his life well, you know. And geez Louise, wish I had that kind of energy, and that kind of confidence and, just chutzpah.
Yeah.
But, you know,
He's got the. I mean, this is a guy. It's obvious. This is a guy who's got the will to do anything.
that's the word, the will. Yes. And he has fun, in spite of all the, I can imagine all the things in the music business that are crap. He's still having fun, dealing with
I'm sure
agents
he
and
is.
lawyers and all that. But he seems to be having a great time. He did another show where he interviewed rock stars a few years ago, 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. And I saw some of that on YouTube. It was really, really cool stuff. And he's friends with just about everybody. That's great.
Yeah, he's great. And I also, I think I also, I also, I think I also listen. I listened to his reading of his autobiography.
Oh yeah, very cool. You gotta think he came into AC/DC in his 30s when he was living at his mom and dad's house, and suddenly here he is, alive in the flesh and owning it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's just the only downside is that he's living. The only downside is he lives in Florida.
Well, it could be worse. He he could be in France.
Oh God.
We won't go there. But no, I mean, I've been to Florida. There's worse places.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only part of the United States I've been to, Florida.
Yeah.
And that was when I was
Yeah.
that was over 20 years ago.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I got down to Florida when I was 12. Yeah.
2002, I went there.
Oh, wow.
I think I was around that age as well, 11 or 12 at the time.
Yeah. And it was one of those things. And in those days, SeaWorld, Disney World, we're going to the beach, And,
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's why we were there. We went there for Disney World. We went there for SeaWorld and all that.
Yeah, in Marineland. In fact, somewhere I have the wax parrot from one of those machines you put $1 in and it casts you a wax parrot or a wax dolphin or something. There's 3 or 4 things. And I still have that wax parrot here somewhere. But yeah, those were the good old days. Now it's
yeah.
Of course, I didn't have to pay for it.
These days there's probably only one reason for me to actually go back to Florida.
Yeah.
And that's Universal Studios.
Yeah. Yeah. And that actually came after my time down there. I think that came in the 80s or 90s, somewhere in there. And I was down there in 77. And of course, there was the beaches too, because, girls.
Of course.
Grown-up girls. Lots and lots of this going on all the time, watching them bounce along.
Oh, yes. I'm sure.
Yay. But yeah, that was a fun time. But you'll have this.
I think from what I remember, I don't think we went to the beach while we were there.
Really?
No, I think like I said, we went to the like I said, we went to the theme parks like Disney
Yeah,
World, Sea World, and
yeah.
what else did we do? Oh yeah, we did the space center as well.
Oh yeah, we got down there. We got down there. Yeah, that was when I got there. It was just before they were manufacturing the shuttle, and they were still doing design and all that. And there was a place you go in and they give you the big lecture about what it's going to be and what it can do and all this. It was really great.
Mm. And I think there was a what else did we? I think the closest thing we did. I think the closest thing we did to the beach was what was that? It was this. I think it was this. It was this water. It was this water park. I think that was part of Disney World.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't remember the name of that. Wild World Adventure or something,
I think it
or
was
Wild
called.
Water.
I think it was called. It was called something Lagoon or something like that.
Could be,
It,
could
it had
be.
this.
Again, that was after my time. So, but
Apparently, it had this. It had this. Apparently, it had absolutely enormous water slide.
wow.
It was, and
Yes.
and that was and we went and yeah, it had this huge water slide. It had this uh, lazy river. You could just float. You know what I mean. You can just
Yeah.
like lie in a floatable ring and just float along.
Yeah.
Drift along, and you're like, don't have to do anything. Just lie back and just drift. And then there
Yeah.
was this there was this like wait this there was this cove that was like open cove lagoon or cove area
Mhm.
where you could
Yeah.
and which had this which it had a big it had a wave machine at one end which used these
Oh
really
yeah.
fairly big waves and
Yeah.
but there was this one time we were there and we were in the water and we were waiting everyone was waiting for the next wave and it was taking forever and everyone just started chanting, "We want waves! We want waves!"
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, crazy stuff. But yeah, we have the Antichrist of parks in New Jersey, and it's called Action Park. And one of the nicknames of it was Accident Park, and because there were so many accidents, so many guests got injured on things, a couple got killed, and they had a water slide that was bolted together, and everybody was hitting the bolts as they went through it. And there was some ride that was electrical, and somebody got electrocuted on it as it went through the lagoon or river or whatever it was. But I mean, stay out of New Jersey. That place sucks. Except around Andy Masterson's house. That's really nice.
Okay.
Because Andy might be listening, but but no, I'm not a big fan of Jersey.
I don't know if anyone's listening right now because I mean the view meter says 2 people are watching, but I don't. But,
yeah. Well, one of them might be Andy.
Maybe. Hi, Andy.
Yeah. Hello. But yeah, there's a thing with me in New Jersey. Whenever New Jersey finds out I'm coming through or coming to visit someplace in New Jersey, they send a little guy out in a Chevy Love pickup truck with a wrench to change all the road signs so that I can't find where I'm going. I was going to Bloomfield one day and I ended up in Newark. And that is like, the Edinburgh of New Jersey. It's just, you don't want to be there. You want to be everywhere else.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Yeah.
Edinburgh.
Burra. Okay. Yeah, like I say,
If
the
you mean,
accent does funny things to the words.
if you mean the city in Scotland, then it's Edinburgh, not Edinburgh.
Yeah, see, we're stuck with borough over here, but that's part of the accent. But yeah, you're right.
Like you can't like you just can't like you can't say Birmingham, right?
Yeah, it's Birmingham.
You always say Birmingham.
Yeah, because I was born in New York State, right near the border in Binghamton, and actually pronounced Binghamton. But it's close enough to Birmingham that I get confused. Because you say one way and one the other way. And then there was I don't know if you remember a band from the 80s called Accept, but they came over, opened for Kiss at the Broome County Arena in Binghamton. And Udo Dirkschneider, their lead singer, now they're a German band singing in English. And Udo Dirkschneider, their lead singer, God bless him, he's on stage trying to whip up the crowd, and every time he says Binghamton, it comes out Binghampton, because everything is Hampton in Germany. Right. It's like there's no P in there, and the accent is on the wrong syllable. But it's a great show anyway.
There's at least one place there's at least one or two places here in Britain that he should get away with that, because there's a place. There's a county called Southampton. So,
yep.
And I think,
where is it? Well, Wilkes-Barre has Northampton and Southampton streets here in Pennsylvania, and we have Dover in Delaware, Exeter next to where I grew up in West Pittston. Right. And then, a few of the easier ones to say. Now, when you come out to, something like, I guess you would pronounce it Worcester, we end up pronouncing it Worcestershire. Because, our mouths don't work that way, Or, Leicester comes out, should be Leicester, but it comes out Leicester.
Yeah, that sounds just. I know it's right. There's like this. Like you look at Yorkshire. That's what I say, Yorkshire, or you say you might say Yorkshire, or Bedfordshire, or Lincolnshire, Devonshire, or Leicestershire, or something. It's
Devonshire. And it should be Devonshire.
It's Devonshire.
Yeah, and that's the area my family came from. Was a little village called Swimbridge. It's south of Barnstaple. Now there I go again. That should be Barnstable, right? And we have a Barnstable in Massachusetts, but I've always pronounced it Barnstaple because that's how it's spelled. And what did I know? Nobody on TV ever mentioned it. So, it's one of those things. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of cool, British names for towns and villages. One of them is Week St. Mary, which, little place in Cornwall. Chittlehampton, Landkey, and Swimbridge itself has nothing to do with a bridge,
Yeah. But we do have some pretty interesting place names over here.
Yeah. And out here we have places like Blue Balls, Intercourse, the actual town names. And
that reminds me of an episode of Top Gear where they were driving across America and they just stopped to look at it, and that said welcome to Intercourse, and Jeremy's just like it's just like, yes, it literally says welcome to that.
Yeah. And then you get into some of the Indian names: Mackinac, Nanticoke, Susquehanna, and some of these, if you're not from here, it gets a little weird pronouncing some of them. One of them is Monadnock Island out in the Susquehanna River. And it took me decades to get that pronunciation right, and so many places named after Indians and, the original Indian name for that. Very weird, but you get used to it over time.
Hakeem says my school was next to. Oh my God.
Yeah. Gotta love it. And oh wow, so many cool place names. And then of course you go to France and you've got Paris,
and then
Calais.
you have all the different, and then just London alone, you have all these different boroughs and boroughs of London, which has places like there's one called there's like places like Ealing, ones I know of, Ealing, Chiswick, and then some of the stations on the London Underground, like there's one called Elephant and Castle, and
oh wow,
and there's a railway station in London called Elephant and Castle.
Yeah, and Ipswich, and there's another witch somewhere north of there, outside of London. I can't remember the name of it. Well, there's Greenwich.
Greenwich, yeah.
Yeah, and oh, come on, John. You know these things. Oops, hang on a second. Message. Okay, that's from Fed. Okay, good. Thank you, Fed. So, yeah, it's great sometimes with some of that. And of course, you hear it in a comedy context, Monty Python or something, and it just makes it that much more brilliant, really cool. But yeah, you have Newcastle. Is there an old castle? Strange things like that.
And also some places have either the same name or very similar names, because there's a place right down south called Brighton, which is like a seaside town, and then up here, in fact, literally just as part of in this local area where I am, there's a place called New Brighton, which is also kind of like a seaside town, because it's like part of, it's like on the top corner, it's on like the top right corner of the Wirral Peninsula, which is where I live, and that's like on the edge of like the Irish Sea and the River Mersey, and so that's kind of like a seaside town as well.
Yeah, and then you have New Britain in Connecticut here, which is also more or less a seaside town. Well, it's got a beach, but and the train goes through it. But yeah, and then it's funny, if you go north and south, then you have folks, and if you go east and west, you get X's, because you've got Essex and Wessex, and then Norfolk and Suffolk.
Yeah, so oh yeah, right. Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex, Wessex, yeah. And then there's other county names.
Yeah,
there's a place. Sure, I think there's a town or village somewhere called Ipswich.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, and there's Redditch, where another part of my mother's family comes from, which is in Warwickshire or Warwickshire. I don't remember which one is correct.
Probably, but I think it's Warwickshire.
Probably. But and it's funny, you hear some of the names on television, and they're just said, the way they say them, it just brings it out, But
yeah,
you get that idea of the culture of an area by how they say it, But kind of hard to explain it, what is now 412 in your house. It's
A
been
lot of,
a long day.
I mean, funny thing, when I was a kid, a lot of people would, if I asked, or someone would say to me,
Yeah.
people might say to me, I don't really have, but I didn't really have an accent, or I didn't have one, some people would say I sounded American. and
Well,
I think that's and I would just say like, oh, that's probably because of all the American cartoons I watched.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's when you can tell when the television raised your kids, you know. But yeah,
Because as well as because don't get me, I did watch a lot of British stuff as well,
yeah,
but there was plenty of American stuff on it when I was a kid as well, especially like
yeah.
when I come home from school in the afternoon. There were these kids TV segments that were either on the BBC or ITV, and and usually on ITV there would be a whole they'd be show quite a few American cartoons like
Yeah.
while BBC got got a lot of the British stuff.
Yeah. Well, did you have Bugs Bunny and all that over there?
We did, yeah. I
Oh,
watched those.
cool.
I love the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Oh,
Those are
yeah. I grew up on that.
absolute classics. I love those.
Yeah. And it's funny because how I got into Shakespeare and classical music was through those cartoons because I liked the music, but I wanted to hear more of it. And the references to Shakespeare, and there were quite a few of them, I wanted to know what he was talking about, and that just led me into a whole new couple of worlds, which was a lot of fun. And now I have all this useless knowledge of Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Yes.
Oh man, I was made to learn about Shakespeare in school, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah. See, I got a kick again, a kick out of Monty Python because some of their the skits, the way they talked, it was in some of the old style in some of the skits, the old English or Middle English, I should say.
Yeah.
And that just made me want to get into it more and more because I thought there might be a few laughs in Shakespeare. And there are, but you got to be listening for them. But, now I can do the American version of Henry V. Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of convention, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. And that's exactly how I would do it on stage because I'm that big an idiot. But,
yeah,
that's one of those things.
Yeah, I didn't. I think that's something I never. That's another thing I never enjoyed doing. Going on stage to do something like that.
Yeah,
standing up on stage, I never enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I mean, I remember being like 3 years old and having to do my little recitation in church and getting the first line out and then wetting my pants, and then crying all the way home. But, it's one of those things. And then getting on stage the first time to play music, and it was like, am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through this? I'm scared. I don't want to be here. I want to go home, and then half a verse into the first song, I was, very comfortable with it all of a sudden. So strange, but I miss that too. But in any case, well, I'm going to get going, Dalek. I have enjoyed very much talking to you tonight.
Yeah.
And, very sad to hear about pop culture,
Yeah.
And I wish his family the very best. So,
Well, if you're on your way out, John, I may as well wrap this up because it's
all righty.
Because I don't think I've got much else to say, really.
Okay. Okay. Well, we had some fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, this is great having you on. It was a great talk. Hope to get to should we should do this again soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I know Fed is going to do a few streams. He's been talking about that
yeah.
lately, and hopefully we don't keep him up all night like we did the last two times. He was going to do like 3 to 5 minutes, and it was 10 hours.
Yeah, I know. That was his very first stream that he ever did.
Yeah,
that's how long it lasted.
Yeah, that, and I think it was the second one was a couple hours, and then the third one was 10 hours again. And fun stuff. He's a good guy to talk with, also good guy to know, and he and I have become very good friends.
Yeah.
But, well, in any case, have a wonderful night, anybody and everybody out there, and be sure to subscribe to Dalek 451.
Yeah,
your life depends on it.
Absolutely, or you will be exterminated.
Yeah, what he said. But all right, well, I'm going to take off, Dalek. You have a wonderful night or day or whatever you're heading for, and keep Mom in your prayers.
I will.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you soon.
Yep. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much, John Randall, aka Fez. That was a great fun discussion I had with you, and I hope those out there who are watching this or who may watch this later, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that as well. And just want to say yet again, this is thank you and goodbye. I just want to say thank you to thank you everybody who came in. Thank you, John. Thank you, Hakeem, who was here, and also just one last time, good rest in peace, Pop Culture Curator. You are you are a wonderful guy, a wonderful friend to us all, and you will be greatly missed. And I think unless anybody else shows up for this, I think I am going to wrap this up. I mean, it's very late here, so yeah. Again, thank you everybody who came in. Thank you everybody who will watch may watch this later on the rewind. And thank you, John, who came on. It was a great discussion. Hope to see you. Sure, I'll see you again soon, and hopefully, I'll probably most likely see you again next Saturday for over on King Dolphin TV for Just Cause. So, and Raymond, if you see this, thank you very much for that parcel you sent me. To me, it arrived safely, and thank you very much for the hat. I'm very pleased with it, and I think for now, and I think I'm going to wrap this up now. So it is very late here. So so one last time, R.I.P. Rest in peace, Pop Culture Curator. We will miss you. And for now, everybody, from the surface of Skaro, this is Dalek 451 signing off. I will, and before I go, I will hope to be doing my 200 subscriber live stream very, very soon. Special celebration live stream very, very soon. So yeah, thank you very much everybody who subscribed. Thank you very much for helping me hit 200 subscribers, and any new viewer, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye everybody. Bye for now, everybody.